They are going to be sticking on that defensive side to start, though.
Obviously, one of the things we'll always mention is Raze combined with Astra, but we're going to have Astra on one team, Raze on the other. Very different duelist comps from both teams, but we know exactly why Defo is on this Jet, and we're about to find out why Kesnet's on the Raze. Kicking it off here. KRÜ on the defensive side, facing a little bit of pressure towards this A site, but it's all just utility removal service from Gambit. They want to pressure, they want to make sure that there's no guaranteed control. Breaking a hole in that wall inside of Bath, for example, means that you cannot turn a blind eye to this part of the map. But then Gambit will slow it down, look elsewhere, and hope that KRÜ have gotten aggressive. But Tom, they haven't. KRÜ are wise to Gambit's tricks. Oh, I like that flash as well, down through B long. Confirms there's no one here, at least for a little moment longer.
Yeah, they got to be careful, though, because, well, it might even be false information. Luckily, the dart almost gives things away a little bit, but it's, again, a bit of a ruse. They're going to fake things back. You can see the spike still sitting just outside A. The ruse hasn't really done anything, though, Mitch. There are still 3 players here, but the extra bit of pressure starts a rotation coming out from KRÜ.
30 seconds left.
It looks like they're going to move back to B. Exactly. That pressure working exactly as intended for Gambit. The dash in for Defo. The space made. The rest of the team soon to follow. There's the flash, but Klaus blinded up, gets away with a double. He goes for more, but Chronicle puts a stop to that. Gambit showing up at least. Moment out. No, he is not. Okay, he did get shot, but the Boombot was about to take him down into a 2 versus 2. Low HP on both players from Gambit. The right clicks. That was a wallbang headshot. Chronicle only barely survives, and oh, Shados doing the best he...
Like we saw KRÜ earlier on take a defeat the first match they played in this tournament. Gambit are yet to do so, even though they probably should have done.
They force bought this. Redgar's playing with a stinger. I am very curious. My curiosity is piqued, that is for sure. Trailblazers, KRÜ move back to the site. Now they're kind of trapped in a little bit, and Gambit use those numbers and the weapons, the armor that they've got to take these fights. Opening it up well onto Klaus. The stinger not quite landing, but there's plenty more players here. Mazzino does well to find the first, but Gambit answer back quickly. Swiftly put the advantage into their favor. Kesnet is still on the site, though. That spike, not yet planted, puts Gambit in an awkward spot. They have no idea that he is here. The pressure by Delzik in towards the elbow might be a little bit dangerous. He doesn't know there's a player on the right, but he still checks it and sprays right away. Huge from Delzik, leaving Chronicle still inside of Hookah all alone. He at least has the information now, but they have the numbers.
Oh, the blast back at you just to see a crowd.
They're not here, but it doesn't matter. You know what? Wherever you are, once you're watching, that's all we care.
Slightly one-sided crowd. I doubt there's too many Gambit fans in that one, but you know,
my God, you wouldn't want to be a Gambit fan in there.
Go get go
Shados! Everybody turns. I did that once. Bought the tickets to the wrong stand at a football game. That was.
I definitely believe you.
I did. Yeah, genuinely.
There's no doubt in my mind.
It was terrible.
That is something that you would do.
Yep. I was still loud, though. You know what? And I'm glad that the KRÜ crowd are, too. With 2-0, it's no surprise. Gambit obviously force bought the previous round, so even though KRÜ only got out with 2 players, that's just fine, because now Gambit taking eco, and you can see that they're playing super slow with these pistols, hoping that they can pressure someone into a fight that is disadvantageous, and Kesnet was kind of obliging for a second.
Yeah, the problem is they haven't managed to get any bathrooms control. And I think they've realized that if they're going to try and win this round, they need to clear this player out. Now, it is a little bit worrying because for Nags getting out of this position now is going to be very difficult. Now, if he manages to get a couple of kills, going down is not going to be too much of a problem, but he's getting hit by shot darts, and Defo will clear him almost instantly. Kesnet trying his best to respond and does still have the paint shells, but will be forced at least to fade away. Again, though, Mitch, the time.
That's up close with that Sheriff is caught. Delzik maintaining the control, but as he peeks out, they actually lose 2. With Kesnet going down, things are in threat, but doesn't. Oh, the Seeker used here to find Redgar. Sure, they'll take him down, but this is the decision I genuinely agree with. Still playing as a bonus by low.
Using their ults as well. That's the thing. They can almost look to try and gamble at least a few of the bits of utility that they have. Locking down mid already. Now, information is going to be garnered on the other side, and actually, Defo's going to go pushing in. Mazzino, though, was that from the back of sight? He just spammed a couple of bullets and took the head clean off. There's potential to even try and retrieve that gun.
I'm not even sure we'll have a replay from his POV. I will want to see that one for sure. That was incredible. For Gambit to lose a player, lose a rifle as well. It's down in the open. They don't suspect there's a player up close because he would have picked the rifle, surely. But no, delzik used it as bait, left the breadcrumbs on the floor and beckoned them in. Chronicle is gone, and it's now a 5 versus 3. KRÜ come into this tournament as underdogs to even make it out of their damn group. And here they are, putting the hurt onto Gambit.
Yeah, now they're patient. You can see on the other side, Gambit hoping that somebody makes a mistake, but the fact is they still have map control out towards B long, so they don't have to do anything too aggressive. They're getting information off of the flashes that they have, and realistically, Gambit either need to just save their...
Walking in with a convincing lead. They look like the better team by far in the last 2 maps.
And the buy looks pretty rough now for Gambit. They're trying their best to get themselves a response. Nags is actually just ballsy. He just goes in, takes the orb, walks away. No problems. Again, they've managed to hold on to this control early, but this time Gambit are adapting. They're trying to shut out what has been a lot of heavy aggression onto B and waiting to see if anybody pushes out of hookah.
The waiting game for KRÜ has been impressive as well on this defensive side. Coming into this with Klaus still on a Spectre is almost a hilarious sight considering the sequence of events that led us to here. With a minute left on the clock, Gambit have no control. This passive play that typically up against LATAM teams would work perfectly. If you know one thing about South American FPS games, they like to push you. They like to get aggressive. And we talked about KRÜ. We've heard it on the desk, how they love to take the fight to you on this defensive side. But look at them. They're just sat down. They're saying, Gambit, you want to run the clock down? No problem, baby. It's in our favor.
Yeah, for sure. And again, we're getting down to that late round spot. This time it is looking like a B hit, but look at the rotation already coming. Kesnet looking to try and bolster up this defense. They have utility to try and pull them back. But what is that from Nads? He just completely eliminates Klaus. Mazzino in the corner will eventually be cleared. Still, though, there's a multitude of players on this site.
Oh, he was ready for the peek up top. Does well to at least eliminate Shados. Nax in with one before he falls. It's all left onto delzik. He's fighting inside the snake bite. Receiving double damage from every shot, but nothing landed. Gambit will spread out. Chronicle on his way to play post plans. 2 shock darts still available. He's now on long. Last spotted inside of hookah. delzik is really not in a good spot. No information to play off, and as he taps this, there's the peek, the tag, the double tag, but delzik's still alive. The round is under threat. I don't think he's going to be able to get this one. Not with 2 players still alive, not with the angles they have. He does his damn best. He's being conscious of every flank potential, but ultimately with no information on Redgar.
See how the adaptation comes through, because there is plenty of money available for KRÜ, and they've got some pretty strong ults online.
I'm pretty interested in the defense side of KRÜ and how they're going to condition Gambit, because currently they've just allowed that slow default play to run the clock down for last second executes. They've kept all of their utility as well, which is the most important part, really. Coming into that, they had their molly on delzik, they had the nade on Kesnet, but now they even have ultimates to play with. And with the likes of a showstopper and an orbital strike, that will make them feel even more comfortable in running the clock down. Gambit cannot afford to leave a 20 to 30 second exec in, or they will not be able to plant. Plain and simple. With an orbital strike, the round will be over.
Look at the late wall. They left it quite a while just because hookah hasn't really been challenged for. I think it could be lack of a raise, but instead they now use this to try and take control in. It's an aggressive push, and Defo actually has to dash back through the teleporter. Now again, we see this extra utility being placed. Still a couple of players here, and they could take that risk because of the res. And now delzik, he wants to try and hold on to this control. If he can get rid of Redgar, it becomes tough.
Well, the orbital strike ready in delzik's hand. We said 30 seconds left as they move in towards the site. They've got to take him down. There's the orbital strike. delzik just about manages to get it down. Delays a little more time. Showstopper comes out as well. Gambit are scared to go for the plant. They're scared to go near the site. Kesnet eventually firing in. He'll find nothing. It lands just outside the door, leaving Defo alive on this off angle, but the spike still hasn't been planted, and they are running low on time. Nats doing his best to buy them the space, but eventually he has to just stick it, and with his teammate down,
And look at this stinky buy coming through from Gambit. They've got a pistol in there, they've got an SMG, but they do have a Viper's Pit.
Yeah, and remember, in the previous round, KRÜ, sure, they got away with it. It came close, it came down to the wire, and they used a res, a showstopper, and an orbital strike. That's a lot of ultimates thrown through all at once. Big commitment, but it gets them the round, puts Gambit on the back foot economically, and if that gets KRÜ 6, that's more than worthwhile. Chronicle, he was ready for it, but the timing was a little bit off. Nags peeking at the perfect moment to take him down. And with that, a rifle lost. Gambit have to try and recover this, but they don't seem to have ideas. Again, it's just this slow wait for them to make a mistake.
I almost wanted them, like, if you're going to do that, have a teammate.
Sure.
Do it together. Have someone who can watch the angle for you. Instead, giving that 1v1 over to someone like Nags, you know he wants to take those fights. You know he wants those individual battles. Klaus, he's going to spot everything out of the side of Gambit. They are looking to try and pressure into this position, but there's counter utility there.
Great snake bite. There's no way you can push through that. The invisible gun coming out. Delzik able to take Nats, and with no more util left, it's all about those raw aim duels, but the time is against them. There's more than enough players of KRÜ to just keep those trades going. Defo needs
defensive sides, but we haven't seen that as much this tournament. Like, it has not been a walk in the park bringing these sort of games back. Sure, they did it a couple of times. We've seen it today, but you can't rely on that.
He was almost riding on top of the drone for a second there. Good kill by Defo.
Good counter.
Early aggression. Mazzino's only good for one. This is the start that Gambit wants in a round like this. They've got the man advantage, and there's rifles to be retrieved. A plant found. Only thing is Nats is down, so that Viper's Pit, which would have basically guaranteed the round, is now no. My God, Redguard just got headshot by a snake bite. And then taken down immediately. What is happening? KRÜ
Player standing.
absolutely storming the site. Kesnit's found a triple, and Chronicle, do your best with your shock dart. It's not going to be enough. He only finds a Spectre as well to play with, and they're happy to just defuse this in the open. It made it so much easier. He fell quickly, allowing the second player behind him to be dealt with in the same spray. Man, what a performance by KRÜ. Surprising everyone, but with Nags getting aggressive. That's the first time I think we've seen KRÜ push anything and they get punished, but the trade is there quickly.
Yeah, even when they have players waiting and watching, they manage to find a response. Again, the ultimates look like they're in Gambit's favor. They've got weaponry on the board. Even if the shields are a little bit lower on a couple of players, it's not the end of the world. The fact is, though, they look to try and reset into this A site again, and look how aggressive this positioning is. This is something we've seen quite regularly, is just some portion of the map is being controlled by KRÜ that maybe they shouldn't have.
Yeah, I like a lot of what Gambit are doing, but ultimately, they're not delivering when it comes to a lot of these duels. Oh no, Delzik actually got caught by that Seeker. Now he can't see, but as his vision returns, Shados rounds the corner. The trade quick. With that Viper's Pit down, this gets a lot easier. Redguard's being caught, a spam through the box to eliminate him, but Nats wants to take the fight behind enemy lines. The problem is they can't plant the spike with him here, but it doesn't matter if they take the whole team down. Running in towards the TP. Nats soon to follow. Picks up his orb and he's away. Okay, there's the information for Kesnit and Tom. If he gets one kill, showstoppers online.
Yeah, he's been incredibly clutch already. You can see utility just there to try and deny him, and I was wondering if he'd just try and take the push right through, but there's a second one. The snake bite's at least delaying for the moment. Chronicle
32.
Actually looks like he wants to try and go for the peak. Timing's going to be absolutely everything here, and as you said,
and we need to see another response from Gambit with the Viper's Pit already going down for Klaus.
Yeah, that's the thing. Again, you just look at the ultimates built up on the other side. Mazzino's also just one orb away from getting his Seekers. Like, they basically have everything just to crush the economy of Gambit back into the ground. Straight away, we're seeing that pace changing. Actually, we've got to push all the way through the Viper's Pit. Straight through from Nats. He's looking to try and take the fight, and he wins it! Opening duels coming left, right, and center for Gambit. A huge start in this round. It was looking like this was all KRÜ with everything they had. Maybe not.
Good call by Chronicle there. He puts down his drone. Nats follows it all the way through, paving the way for that off angle to catch them by surprise. Something KRÜ should have been ready for, and now this 2v5 is looking unwinnable. I doubt they're going to save these. At least you're going to be looking for the exits. This could be the way back in for Gambit. Still only on 3, though. There's a long way to go before this is looking as competitive as we would like. Good shutdown by Nats, at least. Not going to be exited on.
But that's the thing. We're starting to see Nats come online.
Thank you. Thank you, boys. Honestly, I've fallen in love with this team, and I was about to have our first quarrel, but luckily, things have gone okay. Nice opening, though. Klaus with the rifle, able to grab one. And a round like this, 2 to 3 kills, all you can really expect from them.
Yeah, they're trying to juggle them around. Nags at least being able to reclaim some control. Now, I'm looking at the spike. I'd be a little worried if Chronicle was to try and push into hookah, because it's one of the only spots that currently isn't clear.
I think he's going to wait for his teammate and then drone it out once the angle's being covered. There's a minute 10 on the clock. They got plenty of time to play with here. There's no way he just walks in, gives it away. And indeed, KRÜ are going to actually make the first move, stepping their way out on long. Defo's more than ready to take that duel. Now look, if you take a look at KRÜ and what they have coming into next round, sure, Kesnet don't have the showstopper anymore, but Res, Seekers, and Orbital Strike online. Pretty strong ultimate lineup to fight into what will be the last round of the half.
We'll see how many more orbs Class can get. I'd be pretty surprised if there's too much in it. Also, it depends how much they've actually spent on some of the players. Like, you have to bear in mind that Mizzino actually came into this with a rifle. Does he have enough to still purchase up another one? They might just want to keep this into the next round just to shore up their finances. Now, for Gambit, as said, like 4 rounds, it's not ideal, but it's something I think they can work with. If they get to 5, especially with the way the pistols have been going, it's been back and forth all the way through this series. So I genuinely would start to worry a little bit for KRÜ, especially with how, I think it was 70% victory when he has that. I think that was a Bala stat that came in early in the tournament. I don't know how much it has carried through. That's a big Hunter's Fury, but okay. Kesnet gets 2 kills with 2 different pieces of his utility. Already down to just a couple of players remaining. Ultimate's not going to play a part at all at this stage for Gambit. They're just trying to fall away. But Kesnet comes back for more. 3 kills already. They're even going to get the res. And Redgar needs the best clutch of the tournament.
I have to give a round of applause for that one because that was incredible. The slow VALORANT team, in my opinion at least. But now, this would just be something of legend to be remembered forever. They did not just use a poison orb to avoid being flashed. That's insane. Now they're pushing them quickly. KRÜ, I love this team so much, but the snake bite's going to slow them down. Out of there, Nats is going to be bailing, and that gives them a lot of control to push towards this B site.
Yeah, they forced them out. They're already going to look to try and claim the orb, and now Redgar, he has to just escape. There is no value in trying to fight this one back. A cool little piece of utility and moving everybody out of position. It's going to have to be the full-on retake. I believe they've also put a wall down just to close things out. It's going to make things incredibly difficult because you don't really have anything to break that with.
Yeah, it's tough in a round like this. But at least you can knife it up. Oh, Shados is down. Snakebite nade. And they walk away with the kill. The knife given away that there's a player up close. In fact, there's 2 as Gambit look to get back into the site, but KRÜ are already ahead. The dash out buys them a little bit of space, but they get no kills on the back of it, KRÜ!
Whatsoever. They are going to be at such a deficit when they attempt to fight this back. It's going to have to be one of the most impressive comebacks we've ever seen. Solid start, though, with the kill onto Klaus. We'll see how much more they can get.
Yeah, the problem is some of these weapons here, they're really not strong. You're talking 2 sheriffs. You got Nat's playing with a shorty inside of Hookah.
Look at Nags.
Here.
He's got him. He's cut him off. He's seen him. But they might just try to pressure him in now. Good call to put the wall down. Nats can't do anything. There's no way out with what he's working with. Kesnet's fallen, and things do get dangerous, especially with the 1-to-1 trades. Mizzino and Delzik left to try and close this out. KRÜ did so well by winning the pistol, but it's all for naught if they lose this.
They're looking to try and find Shados. They want to hunt him down. Instead, he's looking to try and gather it with the rest of the team. Gambit want to play this one together, but it has given some extra positioning to Delzik, wanting to try and use that Molotov to hold them back that little bit further. Mizzino in a good position as well. They've had to try and bypass this one, looking to shut them down. It's left onto Mizzino. The time is ticking.
Previously propelled them back into the map of Breeze when they were down 8-4. This scoreline is looking a lot more difficult, but Kesnet has fallen right away. This bonus round for KRÜ, not off to a great start.
No, it's one where, again, any damage they can do is going to be valuable. Extra credits purchased. Klaus has just run all the way through. Can't quite manage to get the rifle. The response is quick, and Defo kills off another, leaving just 2 remaining into this round. A victory unlikely, but Delzik manages to kill one up. That's almost the worst whiff I've seen in a long time, but Shados does manage to get the kill through. Now, there is a lot of utility here, but Delzik needs a kill. Now with the orbital strike, the Molotov, he might just try to get something done here. He forces them into its position, but they're not going to be able to do much more. Still, 3 players lost one back. A loss here, as you said, it could almost put the nail in the coffin. It's an aggressive start once again. We were talking about the slow rounds coming out from Gambit. Well, it's almost the opposite. They're looking to fight and brawl, but do they expect Shados to be here? The smoke is almost just a ruse, but Kesnet is watching.
Yeah, I like the fact that you have that spray from afar. That's what sells it. The fact that Defo is still back in toilets. They're like, okay, he didn't push up. He's not in the corner. It's all cool. And that's when they choose their moment to strike. Gambit, find an opening duel, but still so much more to do.
They've got Seekers as well, which for the late round could be huge. Earning up an ultimate that basically gives you all the information for free, and it is a spread out look for the side of KRÜ. More information gathered as Nags just is forced to fall back, and I imagine they're soon going to look to try and group up into A.
I mean, they've got a player in every avenue right now. This is purely trying to take the map control, make sure Gambit don't push up, but with a man advantage, they have no need to. This push has to come in, and it looks like it has to be the A side. The Seekers going out, confirming that this is where the hit's coming in, at least seeing 3 players just outside, but Gambit aren't going to move just yet. They're sticking with a strong B defense, conscious that there could be a rotate. It could take the TP at any moment. That spray, so good for Defo through the smoke. Mazzino steps up to try and get this done. A good flash by Shados, though, puts an end to that plan, and it's all on to Delzik. He won't get much done. The first at least, but 15 seconds left. Through a snake bite, he runs.
PP?
He can't, no worried. But now we're starting to see that Gambit defensive side that we talked about before. It can be scary, and they're showing up. This is where KRÜ need an answer, and in this round, they probably will not find it. They're playing with pistols and a rifle on Kesnet to see if they can open something up. Already losing Klaus. Shock darts on their way to deal what damage they can and make this retake a little bit easier. Still though, the fact that KRÜ have found a plant already, and they have Seekers online, there's potential with some of these closer angles being held.
Yeah, they don't really have much for this after plant though. You'd almost be a little bit disappointed if this didn't work out for Gambit.
Oh, they think it's clear?
No, they're going to clear it. A good check from Nats, and they are methodically just removing these players one by one. This is clean from Gambit. It's left all onto Nags, and they are already watching for this.
Great potential. I think the only one in danger was Chronicle. In a round like that's exactly what you want. I love this.
They're doing it again. It's cool, but it's something that's now being expected. They get scanned up just a moment later. Already, though, we're seeing ultimates pop in. Delzik, even while stuck in the suck, is going to get a kill onto Redgar. Trades coming back thick and fast from Chronicle, though. 2 off the back of the Guardians, not bad at all.
No, we're into even numbers now. That operator in the hands of Defo looking for a victim as they just lock this spike down. KRÜ have to fight back into it. They have got Mazzino. His flashes will come online later, and a showstopper for Kesnet still with a blast pack. That has to be something that Gambit are quite cautious of. It's almost a guaranteed kill if he decides to pop it and manages to find someone, which
I'm out of stuff.
Looks of it he would. They're going to start moving on the back of the flash. Showstopper goes through, blast pack as well. Nobody seen just yet. And he'll be shot in the side! Chronicle going huge in this round. He's found 4 and really saved Gambit's behind. He won't find any more than that, but the 1v2 is looking unlikely. Nazim, and then he's just going to rush on in, slowly walk on in. That was a smoke issue, yeah, and he's hiding behind it. But KRÜ are looking elsewhere. They have their eyes set on this B side.
Yeah, it's a weak buy from them, though. Chronicle can just try and fight this one at range. Kesnet also tagged desperately low, but he will get some of that back. They've also just managed to shut them out with the screen coming out from Nats as well. So it makes things very awkward to try and continue this push. And now that Judge becomes incredibly valuable because they know there hasn't been any rotation back on the Gambit side. They are just waiting, they're watching, and then they have a 3-man stack on B.
Yeah, this is really, really strong for Gambit. I think KRÜ cracking this nut's going to be difficult indeed. But they're still looking to move towards this B site. Gambit are stacked up, ready to take him down, recon to back site. That's going to give them a lot of control. And as you see, the snake bite and the Astra Util is destroying them as they jump on out. Oh no. The push in, this is dangerous. Klaus is going to have an opportunity on his hands here. He's already spotted the player up close. Nats is in a bit of danger, but luckily he deals with him. The spike is dropped, and, well, Nags, he might have the res, but I don't think he's going to be using it.
Yeah, he's been having a tough time on this Sage. Definitely not looking as impactful as we saw in the first map when we witnessed him on his jet. Again, even cost in this round, it doesn't really matter anymore. He's already got his ult 10, and they'll have very few opportunities. And yeah, the credits are stacked for Gambit. Again, same strategy. It wasn't spotted last round, so why change it? That Judge up close better be cleared by KRÜ, or they're in for a pretty damn scary surprise. And with Defo peeking it's dirty.
There's no way you expect someone to be close.
It's the bait and switch. Like, it's such a ratty little play. We've seen so many Astra Judge players now coming through. Like, Vanity springs to mind. You're never going to forget Link, but Redgar looking to take a leap out of their book. Now, there is pressure being put in on the other side of the map. I question if this is a bait, but the spike is down in a pretty open position. And now that the spots come through, instantly we see the rotation coming back from Nats.
And Nats has that Viper's Pit online. If they're under a little too much pressure, it's something the KRÜ will be very conscious of, but with an orbital strike, they might be able to clear him out. 45 seconds on the clock, and that flash is going to reveal them. They know there's players down on long. Gambit are going to be expecting this to be a B hit now. Getting a little bit worried for them. There's the Hunter's Fury. The orbital strike return. Shados gets out. Just.
The thing is, though, it has bought time. They were expecting to make their burst onto the site. Instead, it's a flash straight through. Nats has managed to find a couple, but the trades are in thick and fast. This is the best opportunity for KRÜ so far, and they instantly put down the Viper's Pit. They look to lock out these players from behind. The spike going in as well for the spawn. It makes it so difficult for this retake. Redgar, though, Cosmic Divide, trying to make some space.
Yeah, they still have to deal with the Viper up close, though. There is a judge on the floor. Potential to pick that up and look for those duels, but it's just a drop in. There's the
straight away coming out of Nats just to try and lock down mid, and then they're going to look to almost rotate away the remaining players.
A quick tip to Seyfold. Oh my god! Defo's gone aggressive and Nags has taken him down. The op in the hands of a Sage gives the opening and out just the perfect time for KRÜ. Gambit have constantly put down recons, flashes, something like that, but this time they choose to go aggressive, and it's the one time the KRÜ are ready for it.
Yeah, this is sometimes what we see from CNET as well, just that Sage operator just locking down a portion of the map, and as said, it looks like KRÜ have read this one almost perfectly. Still, though, it's definitely not going to be an easy battle to do something within this round. Just based on that Viper's Pit already being down, other utility remaining, they're now going to look to clear out the bathrooms. And although this B site is the more vulnerable of the two, with the aggressive positioning and that clear, you can see the third player looking to try and bolster up on B.
If Defo wasn't a Jet, there's no way he peeks that. When you pop a Viper's Pit on one side of the map, you don't really need to get aggressive, but why not? When you have that dash available, this is dangerous. And you can see that they're very scared of that operator, and why wouldn't you be? Chronicle playing behind the smoke, and there's the opening. As they come around the corner, they're not expecting you to still be aggressive.
KRÜ have got to be deflated, but they have to get back on the horse and look at their economy. This is what happens when you spam those ultimates and only just manage to scrape the round.
This is heartbreaking, man. KRÜ got the opening and everything, and now the early aggression goes Chronicle's way, but in one-for-one trades, Kesden chasing them into their spawn, and it's gonna catch Shados. What is that? KRÜ are upping the aggression completely, and now they've got a 4v3 post-plant.
Yeah, they've managed to reclaim one of the rifles, the other two deep, but the issue now on the other side is the weaponry. It's not there for a retake for Gambit. They've got themselves a single rifle. Another's been retrieved at least for Defo, so he can look to try and take some space into the site, but this is passive, and they still have a lot of post-plant utility to go. It's just going to be stuck within it. It's not actually being tagged by the Molotov. He's just going to hold it all the way, but Kesnet comes up.
Latin America in the grand finals. I don't think anyone would have seen this coming. Hell, I don't think KRÜ would have seen this coming. And now it's a very real possibility. Defo pressured in the early round out of bathrooms completely.
As said, it's never over, though, for Gambit. We've seen them fight back to overtime with a 7-round deficit before. This time they need just 2. And again, it's come up to some hugely clutch, aggressive rounds from KRÜ to just grind them out. This time, though, they do have a bye, but the ultimates are a miss. And on the other side, there's some pretty crucial ones. Nats just playing on the edge of this Viper utility. They've got to be so careful to make sure that they clear this extra spot. He's hiding within their own smoke, and already 2 are going to go down! Nats goes huge as well in response. He's looking for an ace of his own, leaving just one man standing.
He's even going to be dropped the Spectre just so he has a weapon. It's all on the line for them right now, and the Hunter's Fury deployed to try and catch a couple off. Already the tag there. Kesnet will survive, but Mazzino loses his health as well.
Yeah, they should be able to get both back to 100, but that's definitely not ideal. They really want to try and pressure onto Defo. They also want that ultimate orb really bad to get that in, bring them closer to an ult. Especially Mazzino and Delzik both want away. Both could be the difference maker, but they're still looking to try and fight for this. They're watching for Defo, but they have the trades! Chronicle is going to give them a 2-man advantage, and there needs to be a response from KRÜ.
An attempt by Klaus, at least. There's the first 3 versus 4. Gambit locked in towards bathroom and being pressured from both sides. This is a little scary. Nags already able to pick up the opening, and now they'll come in on the other side, but Defo at least manages to secure his back. Now looks to the site where Dalzik and Klaus are trying to get the plant in. In fact, no, they're trying to bring the fight to them all the way into the spawn. But look at Shados. He's holding for it. He's conscious of this play, and now he's got the spike as well. Gambit looking to take us all the way to overtime unless Klaus...
Who's going to be the one to close it out?
I'm looking at the players, Tom, and things are tense on that stage. Redgar giving a few motivational shouts to his teammates. I've never seen that man fired up, but he is in the game right now. We kick things off in overtime with Gambit on the attack, and they are taking it slowly, but they do pressure in towards Bathroom. They're spamming every angle, but ultimately they're fighting for those ult orbs. You can see that Shados is the one that they decide to give it to. Now 2 away from having himself the Seekers. One mistake, one misstep here can cost you it all, and Klaus in danger. The operator scoped in on him, and he goes a little too wide. That's the opening for Gambit.
Yeah, the pixel shot connected, and sure, Kesnet's gone to try and reclaim that ground. There's also going to be aggressive pushing coming through, but the information is there. Rotation already making its way from the side of KRÜ. They've left this B site fairly vulnerable, but by the looks of it, at least for now, the gamble's correct. Nats, though, takes the space, and they're going to TP. They're going to take that rotation in towards the B site. Nags, he's going to have to go huge here, Mitch.
I like what Nats did. He waited inside the teleporter, waited for his teammates, pushed out. Now they can 3-man take the site. Nags on the back, hasn't been spotted. The spray is good for Nats. The spike delayed a little longer. 15 seconds on the clock. They need to get this planted, but they've got the manpower to cover the angles. Nags is pressured on the backside. Chronicle taking a big risk, pushing forward. Guessed it, manages to find 2. The spike being planted, nade in. It has to be tanked. And Chronicle maintains 16 HP. He's alive on the site, but only barely. And Kesnet's gonna deal with him down to the 1v1. Showstopper fired, but it won't land. Doesn't find the target this time around, and Defo scoped in with the operator. No dash on loss
to give Gambit the lead. Now they need to do what they've done for the rest of the map and take a defensive round.
He gambled the showstopper as well, right? Threw it towards the deep side along. If he went close, that round was over. So many small decisions that end up being the difference maker. And it looks like KRÜ want to up the pace. My God, we haven't seen him go this quickly in quite a while. And Nats attempting to punish on the back of the flash is caught. There's the opening for KRÜ to try and stay alive at Champions.
One off the showstopper already. A chance for Kesnet to potentially be that difference maker, that superstar that we've seen throughout the entirety of this tournament. A 2-2 split for Gambit, but with aggressive presence in towards the bathrooms. Defo will keep that control for now, but it is patient from KRÜ. They're expecting some sort of aggressive response. They're expecting someone to attempt to make a play, but for now, it's a standstill.
KRÜ really thinking about every decision on this one. They're taking it slowly. But as that timer turns from a friend to a foe, they have to move. The flash is fantastic. It clears out Hookah entirely, but Nat's not alive. There's a lot less pressure on the moving through. There's the opening! Redgar with 2, with 3! Oh my God, Gambit might take it across the line. It's a 2v2. KRÜ, wall off the spawn, slow down. That buys them time to plant. They'll be able to set themselves up for post plans. Klaus still with a snake bite to play with, but they are not going passive. They are staying up in their opponent's face. And this is a good setup. When Klaus takes contact, Nags will be able to jump on top and try for the assist. They're walking out. I'm ready for it, man. Round 27. I mean, this has been a marathon for both of these teams. Sure, they get breaks between the maps, but it's not designed to go this long. Recon up top. Nags is safe. That's a big miscalculation by Gambit, but they do well to not get punished.
Yeah, looking to try and clear him out of this position. Getting Hookah control a little bit more difficult when you don't have that raise available, but they're doing a damn good job of it, making things very awkward. And actually, Mazzino is going to try and jump in to support his teammate. If this is where the ball goes down, he wants to be there to see it.
I think the Redgar just took the TP to try and keep those A players in position. Stops the rotation from coming through. KRÜ stay aggressive and try to fight for this Hookah control, but Nats has managed to find the opening, and now they look to the side of B. Making their way out of Hookah will be difficult, but they have a player on long. Shados, flash primed and ready to make its way around to get these players out onto the site. It's only a matter of time now with 40 seconds on the clock. We know that Gambit like to take their time, but not by that much. There's the smokes, there's the flash, and now out they come. Kesnet has gotten himself into a good position, and look at that crossfire. Oh, that's so nicely played by KRÜ. Down to the 2v1. The IGL of Redgar has it all to do, and it's almost impossible to even plant at this point as he looks to sneak in towards the spawn. He has to be careful. The angle held from inside of Hookah. He'll smoke it. He'll move in through, and he'll take Delzik down, even going.
Or they're heading home.
Tom, I can't describe what this game is doing to my emotions. I cannot imagine being in the player's shoes right now. Gambit are under so much pressure. KRÜ, everything that they've fought for, this team is stuck together through thick and thin. Mostly thin on the international stage.
As if he's got a judge in this round.
And it's the same setup we saw before. Defo looking to take the opening. He'll find a shot, no kill, but then the judge comes in! Redgar's good for 2! Defo in with another, but he'll fall! The snake bite gonna slow them down a little bit. Klaus is too low. If he goes into a fight now, he might just fall, and Delzik's nowhere nearby to trade. A decision has to be made here and now. Where do they go? And the plant faked out the spray coming through, but Nats won't find anything with it. Still, eventually they need to move. What a shot by Delzik! With Shadows down, he's
something on this aggressive jet.
Oh, they have got an idea of what they want to do here. The flash is going to catch him, though. It's going to slow him down too much. The enemy team of KRÜ looking to try and get themselves a little early control over B long. It's denied, and now the thing is they don't know this operator is here. It hasn't been given away just yet. Now it's been spotted, though.
There's still some aggressive positioning. We've seen this a lot from Nags, looking to try and hold onto that control. Kesnet already rotating over, but Nats is trying to be sneaky on the other side of the map. We know this is exactly what he does, just looking to try and take that control, make things a little bit more awkward as he tries to sneak through. Is he going to be able to catch one out? No! A reaction shot from Klaus could be the difference maker, but there are still a few players here on the other side. The push looking to try and come in onto B.
Nats has tried that one too many times. They've gotten wise to his little lurk play. KRÜ reaping the rewards of that information read. 40 seconds on the clock. We've seen this before from Gambit. The last second execs into the B site. It's become a recurring theme. That's why Kesnet has his nade in hand ready to fire it through. They've spotted a player inside of Hookah, but Nags manages to make it away. Luckily, Mazzino in danger if he peeks into that operator, and in fact it's going to be a full rotate. Gambit are fast pushing the A site, but the problem is KRÜ are still here. They haven't moved, and the molly's going to slow them completely. Delzik even takes a kill, and they cannot trade. That molly is buying them all the time in the world. And get completely ruined. This time it will be around middle that he looks for it. The smoke, or the star rather, recalled instantly to try and lull them into a false sense of security on that attacking side, but KRÜ are taking this slow. They look at one part of the map, which is Hookah, where they want to get aggressive, and the rest of it is just being held, hoping that Gambit
he saw him.
make a mistake.
He saw him. That's information for Nats. I think Kesnet might have seen the jump as well, so both players just going to fall off. Look at this spot from Defo. Now, I'm sure that there is Redgar just waiting to try and put up a smoke to allow him to escape, but it's going to be forced off the angle, all the way back to the site, spotted out by the Tiger, and this is almost just a ruse. The second they push him back, they instantly go rotating. There's no more information available for the side of Gambit, and there's a vulnerable site.
Nice nade. This forces Nats to play inside the site, but Shadows has that covering fire from the side. Nats showing up and eliminating the Hookah push. KRÜ run headfirst into a brick wall. The spike is down on the site, and Gambit have full control, full rotations. All of their bases are covered. They need a miracle on the side of KRÜ to get away with this, and Delzik sneaking out of Hookah on 1 HP won't. KRÜ's defense, though, has been strong. I mean, they've looked good in these OTs, that's for damn sure. You saw it, though. Gambit slowing it down, leaving it to the last second. That clock has been an enemy of theirs again and again. I said about KRÜ, they just hold their utility. They wait for the late round because they know Gambit want to play it slow, but this time around, it's a different story. Gambit are pushing out to this site quickly, trying to push the pace and catch their opponents off guard, and that's exactly what happens. A triple to open it up. Defo keeps on going. A triple of his own, in fact. A Blade Storm popped in the right click. is going to look to close this out. Mazzino walking head.
Time in general cheering for this squad, but they need to dig deep and now win themselves an attacking round. Now there's an operator back onto Nags once again. Now he was patient last time, waiting and watching. I don't think there's going to be that level of aggression coming out from Gambit this time.
So the one thing that's been able to force Defo off this angle is the Trailblazer, and this time it's used by KRÜ to claim control over Bathroom. That's going to put them on the back foot if they decide to push into middle, because Defo will be waiting for them with the op in hand. I'm a little bit worried about that, because it almost pigeonholes them into going towards this B site.
They've managed to already get themselves one orb. Kesnet looking to try and get that a little bit closer to the showstopper. Defo still trying to play around mid, and it's tentative. Again, KRÜ are expecting, waiting for some level of aggression, and Defo is the only man really facing any angle at all. And you can see the spike starting to rotate back into this A site, but just look at the utility that's already there. So much available at this point in time, and Defo still with this info is going to make it tough.
The clock was an issue for Gambit. It might now be for KRÜ. On their way in towards this site, Defo's being pushed off. He's able to dash away to safety, and Chronicle's still here, waiting for them to walk through, but he whiffs at the worst possible moment. So too does Defo. KRÜ are back in the game. They've shown up here, and now the snake bites trying to slow them and push them out of position. 12 seconds left on the clock. They need to plant the spike now. They're getting it down, and it looks like
they move back onto the defensive side. And while, again, it's going to be a fast-paced take. Already looking for that early control. Already looking to try and get those Seekers online if possible. And actually, they're taking a lot of space.
That they are. You know, it's got to be said, Gambit had a lot of success with the fast play earlier, but I don't expect KRÜ to be as caught off guard. And already you see them put out their utility early. They're changing their pace, they're adapting, but they're not winning the duels. And ultimately, that's the only metric we give a damn about right now. Klaus able to get in for 2. That's a lifeline for KRÜ, but the rest of them fall like dominoes. Mazzino.
Get it. Redgar has gone for this once again. This time, a different spot completely. And he's almost going to bait them in. He's put down that same aggressive Nebula just to try and give them the false info that somebody has pushed up. That is not the case. Kesnet, though, is almost just running his way through. Already dead, but the trade comes through. Back into a 3v3 scenario. Chronicle left alone, but the info is that there's no one else here, at least for now.
Yeah, KRÜ are playing this one incredibly slowly, hoping that some aggression came out of Gambit through middle with Defo already dealt with inside a Bathroom. They know that a mainstay of this A defense is now out of the equation, and they'll look to move through Bathroom to try and take that control and fight the site. That means they'll be dueling Nats, and Redgar can't help. The man has got a judge inside of Lamps. They're avoiding one of the biggest dangers in this round. And one step closer to that ulti for Nags. If he gets a res online, that could be the turning point of this round. But they're gonna wrap back. They're looking for the B side, and little do they know, Chronicle has made the incredibly aggressive push now. Tucked in, they're going to walk right past him. Already, the players are starting to rotate, and it's all on Chronicle. He'll be checked, but he still gets the first. That's it, though. Great trade back by Delzik as they look for the site. That'll be Nags getting his res online if they can get this spike down. The molly, but they've already pushed through. Oh, he's on the back site. They won't expect him already. Nat's able to take 1.